Okay, I think we're on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our morning note. Happy Monday. It is October 5th, 2020. New week. Let's rock and roll, guys. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. You are locked into the GAR Capital YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner, there is our logo. Make sure to click that to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like our videos. Really do appreciate it as always. Again, to grow the channel, see if we can get more subscribers and more cool things to come. And let's go ahead and get started and talk about market, shall we? All right, Dow futures up 225 points. Nasdaq futures up about 0.80. They were up about 1% overnight. S&P up about 0.71, which is slightly off the highs. Russell 2000 index is actually pushing 1554. We actually had a futures trade on that, and we closed right before we hit our TP. Our TP was 1550, so we're probably looking at to get to re-enter as well. So small caps are on the move, up 1.28%. Crude oil futures bouncing 4.32%. But again, that level that we've been watching is that $40 level. It's at 38.66. Bitcoin 10,800 up 2.3%. Again, the big level for us is 11,000. Gold futures 1913 up 0.3%. Silver futures up about half a percent, 24.15 an ounce. Dollar index is now about down 3.35%, 93.51. Euro dollar 117.68 up 52 pips for my forex people, and dollar yen is up about 19 pips, 105.57. So futures are up, but there's one thing that's telling here that I want you guys to look at: the VIX. The VIX is actually now, well, it was up 4%. Now it just took a little bit of a hit. It's up 1%. So not the best thing in the world. I don't want to see VIX up when the market's up. I don't like that. So there obviously is some volatility here. But again, we will see. Obviously, the good news is that the president is feeling better and looks like he may just get discharged from the White House. This may be that little push to get us over the hump to really get us some stimulus, a stimulus bill, at least for the airlines, at least for everyone to get some extra money, some stimulus money for people can spend for the holidays or before the holidays. I think that's be a positive. So again, let's see what happens. Nothing is concrete yet. We have to see exactly what happens in Congress, if anything is even announced. So a couple levels I'm looking for before we look at some pre-market movers. For the most part, on S&P, the big mover, the big number here for me is 33.88. We're nowhere near that yet. So again, we're still about 16 handles away. So we have to wait. Nasdaq's a little closer, so tech is pushing, which is nice. But again, it still needs to retake that 100-day moving average on the hourly, 11,400, not there yet. Tesla was up a little nicer earlier today. It was up as high as 426. Now it's at 422, sitting at the 100. So let's take a look at pre-market movers. Let's go ahead and move this over here. Big movers today. AT&T was downgraded today, down 0.45%. Bank of America, the banks up 1 point, well, Bank of America up 1.61%. Microsoft 0.64%. Citigroup 1.33. Intel 0.5%. Alcoa 152. Chevron up. They went ahead and closed that deal. I believe the deal was done. I think I have it here. Who did they make the deal with? I forget the name. Oh, they complete the acquisition of Noble Energy. So Chevron is up 79 cents, 0.11% pre-market. General Motors is up 0.79%. Caterpillar up almost 1%. On the Dow, what's moving here? Again, Boeing up 0.55%. Apple's up 0.87%. JP Morgan up 0.27. Goldman up 0.80. Disney up 0.5%. Walmart is up 0.36. On the S&P, American Airlines up 1%, Carnival's down 0.33. Norwegian, also some news I went ahead and retweeted that they're going to go ahead and they extended the suspension of global cruise voyages to include all voyages embarking between November 1st and November 30th. So Norwegian is down 1.85%. Gilead up 2.7%, obviously with the president being in Walter Reed Hospital. You've seen biotech getting a lot more bids here. Delta is up 1.23% and AMD up 0.9%. On the NASDAQ side, NVIDIA up 1.34%. Regeneron, which is what the president took, allegedly, remdesivir, up 5.52%. The CEO was on CNBC earlier today talking about it. And JD's up 0.89%, Amazon up 0.66%, Facebook 0.70%. So what I am watching today, I'm seeing that small caps and the banks and industrials, banks and tanks, we talked about that, is up and they are moving. So let's take a look at IWM. IWM, we actually had it set for Friday. expiry, and we have the president's, the announcement of his COVID diagnosis. And of course, we didn't get to win that trade. We had the 153 calls. If we just had it for an extra week, we would be in the money, we'd be made money. So sometimes it's just bad luck. It happens. Those headline risks happen. But again, you're seeing a nice break here on IWM. Could target around 156, maybe 156 seems about the right level. So IWM is something to look forward to. Looking here at the banks, Citibank. Citibank looks really nice here. So take a look at Citibank above the 200, rub that fib. Citibank could be in play. Wait for volume, but there's a gap fill right around 44.75. So you could obviously play the 44.50s or maybe the 45s. So Citibank could be in play. So take a look at those 45s for Citi. I'm writing this down as I go to. Oh, IWM. I'm looking at here. Oh, let me see if I can move this again. IWM looking at right around 156 calls. And then looking at Goldman Sachs, since they're up pre-market as well, since the banks are moving, and you see a nice little break here, again, above the moving averages, looking very nice. It'd be a little expensive, but I'd say maybe play the 205s on Goldman. Again, when it comes to financials, guys, and last time we played financials, we did it on the live trading session. Always had to try to day trade the financials. They don't hold up next day. They usually are up one day and they fall the next. So again, when it comes to those names, be careful. Bank of America is one I don't like playing because it's always one of those volume gap plays and they're very like a tease. But again, above the 200 as well. 24.52 now. I mean, I think they're the best one to play. So let's take a look at JPM. JPM is okay. There was a gap that's already been filled. So I would say Citi and Goldman Sachs are probably your best bets. IWM is nice too. Let's take a look at Boeing. I've had a lot of people ask me about that. When it comes to Boeing, I still need a little more of a break here. Let's see if we can break above 170.61-ish to get there, maybe target 175, maybe 180. But until then, that's really the main things that are moving. Looking at Apple, Apple's still range bound, not much going on. Amazon is just way too expensive, can't play that. On Tesla, pretty much a sideways action, not much of a break. If you're looking at Facebook, I had some people ask me about Facebook. Nothing yet as well. Pretty much just range bound, nice little break here, nice little channel. But again, kind of reverting back to the same range. So not much going on here. Looking at QQQ, the tech, I need 278.10 before I can make a decision there on a break to the upside, and we're in between the 100 and the 200. So the best trades here, again, the first three I saw that stood out to me was that IWM with small caps, 156 calls. Let's wait for some volume. Wait for after 10 a.m. again with that movement. Obviously, we want to see if this pump continues, but usually around the 9:30 cash session open, we get a little bit of a reversal, whether we're up or down. And Citibank 45 calls and Goldman Sachs 205 calls. That was what I'm watching this morning. So again, if you are asking, those are the three. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How do we feel about a quick docu scalp fill at the open? Let's look at docu. Again, I've been saying it on the recaps. Again, momentum has been the ones that have been playing. So again, I'm really liking momentums here. Yeah, there's a nice little gap up on docu. You still need a break here of the recent highs of about 227.34. If you do break that, then you can start taking a look at the 235s maybe. But I need to see some volume before we do anything there. Good morning. Update on space. Uh, Looking at space here, you still need to break up 2144 in order for us to do anything here. Then you maybe play the 22s. So again, put an alert at 2144 before you do anything. See NVIDIA here. NVIDIA obviously still needs 554. I think anything below 500 is a buy on the stock. But again, we're still right above the 100, which is nice. We already filled this gap here, so there's not much of a technical play here to play yet. I mean, the only way I could maybe start taking a look at it is if we start breaking 550. But until then, you sit on your hands on NVIDIA. Nvidia just announced some amazing news. Yeah, they're up about $8 pre-market. I love the stock. I own it, but again, for the most part, I still want to wait for some breaks before I do anything. Good morning. Any reason that T-bills just shot up? What are your thoughts? Yeah, I just saw the Treasury yields bounce up. Obviously, that is normal when it comes to when the stock market is up. Again, a lot less fear in the market, but then the VIX is telling me something else. 4.6% to the upside. So be very careful. What do you think about VZ versus T? T was downgraded. T pays a better dividend. VZ is more stable, but again, I think either one is fine. If you're looking for more of a yield, obviously AT&T. If you're looking for more of a stable yield that they can actually pay? Verizon. Docu break 230 and 240 call. Right, correct. What do you think about Roku 200? Obviously Roku another momentum play. I've been saying it. I have a level at 203.56, 203.66. Break that 205s and maybe 210s. It is looking like a nice play, but we still need Roku to break. So again, Roku above 203.56 or 203.66, you can start targeting the 210s. You suggested buying SpyG every Friday. How about one Microsoft, one Apple, one J&J every Friday? Thoughts? That's okay with me. I mean, SpyG, you own those anyways, but yeah, I'm with it. Thoughts on NVIDIA weekly call? Still need a little more before I do that. AAL, again, they're up pre-market. Let's take a look at that chart together. There is that gap that's filled, but really nothing more to do until you start breaking 1328. Then you could start maybe targeting 1350, if that. But still not really worth anything playing there. Looking at GLD, nearing 180 here, 175, 179.25. If it breaks above 180, we can get that continuation over to 182. There was a lot of volume on those calls about a week ago. Square breaking out pre-market. Square again, another momentum play. It looks very nice here. I have the alert at 171.24. Question is, does it hold? So I want to place another alert above the recent high wick. I'm going to go and cancel this alert. So again, if we break that recent high wick, I'll probably take a look at some calls, maybe the 180s to play. PayPal October 16, 200 calls for next week. For next week. PayPal doesn't have the most volume in the world. I love the stock, but when it comes to volume and it comes to the options, it's not the best. I think there's other plays to play it, like Square. Square's a little more momentum play. So I'd skip that PayPal. It's key levels on NIO. NIO, seriously, the best one has been 20, but again, we broke above that very nicely. You need to break 22.59. If anything, at least 22.31. If you don't break that, you don't play calls. But again, it is bull flagging here, so I do like NIO if we get that break. Hi, Carlos. Good morning. Thoughts on crowd, entry point to buy? I don't own crowd strike. Again, I have a lot of tech in my portfolio anyways. So if you want to go ahead and buy here, there should be a gap to fill on the way down anyways. If you get to around 138, then I'd probably pull the trigger there. Again, you want to buy when it's down, not when it's up. Growth stocks to recommend. Definitely Nvidia, that'd be my number one. Amazon is a growth stock. Square, anything tech, Square, Roku are pretty good ones. So those are your four right there. Microsoft 210 calls for this week has strong volume on options, possible play. Well, we don't know the volume this week because the markets are not open. Looking at it here, yes, there's the gap to fill as well. Up right over here at 212. 210 would look pretty decent. Again, break the 100-day moving average of 209. 210 would be too close. So it's a very binary play. I kind of not want to risk that, especially with VIX being higher. I needed something to break first. Zoom play up 500 this morning before afternoon sell-off. Yeah, 500 is my level. If Zoom breaks 500, again, keep in mind, guys, Zoom is an expensive option to play. So again, you have to be extremely careful. But I'd wait for 500 before I even look at it. Boss Visa call, break 205 to 215. Yeah, looking at Visa, not the best when it comes to options. I've lost money playing Visa every time I've played it. I'd skip it. Not the best volume. Stay away, and it's a slow mover, extremely slow mover. I think Square's a better play. I think Roku's a better play. Keep an eye on those instead. So regarding Square, I'll go ahead and go over it one more time. There's a lot better momentum plays in the payment area space. So let's go ahead and take a look at 174.49 per Square. That's where I put my alert. All right, guys, there we go for the day. So right now, I got 5 things I'm looking at: Citi, IWM, Goldman, Roku, and Square. Take a look at those for today. I'd wait for 10 a.m. before we start seeing the dust settle. Again, momentum is probably the best way to look at things, best way to play things. Looking for continuation, but the banks are obviously getting back. When it comes to banks, I highly recommend when you get it back, when you get in those trades, to get out same day because financials are basically day trades. Just understand that. Keep proper risk management as always. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Carlos Garcia, CEO of GAR Capital. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment to our videos. Any suggestions is always welcome. The election podcast will be coming. Obviously, I was waiting for everything to happen with the president, get out of the hospital, recover, and then we can actually go over everything. We're about a month away from the election, so big time, big stuff coming up, guys. Have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you guys soon.